10 seconds, and we're looking this thing going. Hey, welcome to episode 245. Good to see you, all of you checking in. It's the fun part for me is as I take a minute to get everything set up, it's fun watching you guys come on in. I saw Denise check in. I saw Marie here. I saw Kathleen and Kathy and Carrie and Rebecca. So many awesome people. Still working on the actual setup. Because right now I have Facebook right here, so in order to read the comments, I kind of have to do like one of these numbers. Jan's asking, why is there a countdown clock? Because it takes me about 4 or 5 minutes to get all the devices configured so that we can have a show. We're live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and one camera makes it a lot easier, so both feeds get the exact same feed. And we're going to talk about you. That's what we're going to talk about. So for those of you joining new for the very first time, welcome to episode 245. Give you a rundown what we do. We kind of go through some hellos. We chat for 10 or 15 minutes. Then we roll into the actual recording of episode 245. Sorry about that. Roll into the actual recording of episode 245. Then what after that? After that, then we do a post show, and then I publish everything to the air, and we're good to go. So. Rachel says hi, back after a long time away. Maria says hi from Connecticut. Barb D from Parma, Ohio. Good evening to you. Colorado, Sarah checks in. Maggie says, I can't comment to an individual. I can see your comment, if that helps. Keith and Alice check in from New York. But Maggie, I'll see you tomorrow night. It makes it easier. Let's see. Marie says, where is Marcia? There she is. Marcia's right below. Very nice. Pam checks in from Colorado Springs. Diane from Maryland. Good evening to you. And let's see. Yeah, there's all kinds of awesome folks. Cambridge, Massachusetts. Aaron checks in over on YouTube. I got to admit, and this is just a heads up, I got to admit I like the YouTube interface better. So I'm encouraging you to start navigating over to YouTube. I think that chat interface is cleaner. I think it's a little easier for both of us, but I'll let you be the judge of that. So at some point, consider yourselves brave and get over to YouTube, search for FatDag, and we'll kind of do some chatting over there. Aaron right now is the only one over there, or at least the only one commenting that I can tell. Let's see. Sharon from Portland is here on YouTube. Yep, gotcha. Janice is here. Yay, Bloomington. So yeah. And Lee says he likes Facebook. Hey, I'm going to try and push it out wherever I can push it out to. I'm just telling you I like YouTube better. Wherever you can get it, works for me, right? Keith says your friends are less likely to see your comments on YouTube. Good point to that. But I also know that the fun thing about Facebook is that as it shares, more people find the community, which is cool. So obviously, if you're so inclined, share the broadcast, let other people join in. Very, very fun. Delilah checking in from Harlington, Texas. Kristen's on YouTube. Do we have to have a login? I don't believe so. I'm not positive, but I don't believe so. Hildy says, hey, Mike. Judy says, hey, y'all. 'Tis Mundag. I agree. Cheryl is here. Kathy is saying hi to Carrie. Keith sends the link to YouTube. Very cool. I missed quite a bit, I'm sure. Let's see. Yeah. Donna says I can't figure out the comments on YouTube. Looks like Karen made it over there. Anna swooped over to YouTube. There, Ann did. Karen did. Marie on Facebook and YouTube. Now you feel like you're time warp. Yeah, because one is certainly faster than the other. Janice says, I could not get on Facebook with a new format. I do miss all the comments. Janice, I'm not sure why, because I think we've got to figure that out, because it seems like it's only you that's having that difficulty. So we got to figure out what's going on. Diane from Maryland checks in. Robin from Florida. So Joanne in Syracuse checks in over on YouTube. It's funny, Marcia says, as soon as I type YouTube, you showed up. Yeah, that's how it works. Becky switched to YouTube from Colorado Springs and says, oh, you're overloading YouTube, it's buffering. No, I don't think you're overloading YouTube. But I don't know. So hey, we're in test phase, right? We're gonna test all this out, anyways, and see what's going on. Episode 245 for you tonight. We got an announcement on the 2019 international tour. I know a lot of you have been waiting for that. The only thing I can release at this moment is we've confirmed Houston. We're confirmed. We will be in Houston January 20th, coming in for a speaking engagement, coming in to kick off a corporate wellness program. Going to fly in to do that, and I figured I want to hang out with you guys while I'm there. So Houston, January 20th. I'll get you more details on that, but if you're in Houston and or want to be near Houston, shoot an email to me on air at fatdag.com with Houston in the subject. I'll collate them, and I will let you know whatever plans I come up with in Houston. Then we'll figure out what's after that as well. But Houston is confirmed. Plane tickets have been purchased. They're right there. Houston's going to happen. So that means the 2019 tour officially kicks off. So, man, I'm excited about that. Susan says, Houston, do you copy? Yep. Tranquility Base here, Houston, the Eagle has landed. Something like that. I'm not a big history buff, but I think that's close. Karen is here. Keith is saying, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it to get notified when a new episode happens on YouTube. Cool. Thanks, Keith. Didn't know that. I probably could have figured it out, but I think so. Shannon says that is soon. Yeah, that's like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yep. So, Lacey's, are you coming near Ohio for a 5K? Not at the moment, but you never know, right? There's all kinds of things going on. Cheryl, that's exactly. Cheryl wins the prize. Cheryl says she remembers about that from the Indy Ultimate. So yeah, that from the Indy Ultimate, this was planned. So we now have this confirmed, and I will be there for sure. Tour coming to Florida, Robin. I've been in Florida a lot, Robin. Unfortunately, under not circumstances where I wanted to go do any running, but there's a chance we'll get back. Sure. And so I got one more thing up my sleeve. I told you that the other night that I'm working on before we figure out the full details of the 2019 international tour. Pamela says, come back to Colorado. I'd love to. Yep, Colorado was so much fun. I had a great walk and / run out in Colorado. It was one of my favorites. One of 8 of my favorites. Ha! Very fun. Charlene says, yes. I like that. So, Henry is here. Henry, did you get the text I sent you? Did you figure out Discord? We had a chat today with all the patrons in Discord. Some of you had some difficulty connecting. I sent you the link to get you there. Everyone I've sent that link to so far has figured it out. So, follow that link, and hopefully that works. Jeannie says, Tampa, August, 1, 2, 3, 4? Right? Isn't that what it is, Jeannie? It coincides right with my retirement, so I gotta make sure the calendar allows me to be in Tampa August 1, 2, 3, 4. But yes, that is on the tentative agenda for sure. Let's see. Cheryl says, I can do that. I want to be there for the Indy Ultimate 2019. I've asked the Indy Ultimate folks when the Indy Ultimate 2019 is, and I haven't gotten a confirmation yet. So as soon as they get back to me, let me know what the Indy Ultimate date is. That'll help me secure some things as well. Seattle, don't have a date I don't have any dates. The only date I have is January 20th. The only date and location that have been confirmed, January 20th. I'm looking at Minneapolis. I'm looking at Seattle. I'm looking at St. Louis. I'm looking at Tampa for sure. I'm looking at somewhere in Arizona out there. Those are the ones on my brain. Judy says, when is the Dr. Nandy show on? January 21st, actually, that show airs. I will get that information out to you. January 21st, you can catch me on the Ask Dr. Nandy show. So, yeah, we did that in Detroit. We filmed that. It's finally airing. I'm excited to see that, my 3 minutes of fame. So, we'll see. But so that's the game plan. So, and Joanne says, nope, not a runner. And so here's the deal. This is not about running. Right, so for those of you who've been to an international tour race, right, we don't run. Some do, some don't. We go at our own pace. Every single one of them, I finished last. That's how it was. I run a little bit, I walk a little bit, I go back and forth. I make sure that we finish as a group. So you can show up to run, you can show up to cheer, you can just show up to hang out. Because what we normally do is we do the race and then we have some sort of gathering after for a little bit. So Yep, and Marie says, I didn't run the Indie Ultimate. Had an incredible time, right? It's the being together is what this is really all about. Yeah, Keith has got it exactly right. So Indy, St. Louis, Minneapolis. There's one more I was thinking. Oh yeah, I think in New England, up in New England somewhere, Boston, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, somewhere in that line is in my brain as well, trying to get up there. Jan, the link for the Dr. Nandy show will come out as soon as they send me the link on how to preview it. So I'm waiting for them to get it. So Kathleen says, okay, back to Facebook because YouTube's not working for me. Spinning circle. So. Well, cool. Whatever one works for you, that's the deal. Wherever you get the show, I don't care where you watch it. I'm just glad you do. I want to figure out how to get us back on to Twitter. I enjoyed streaming to Twitter. I thought that was a lot of fun. So we'll do that as well. But, whew. Dan says, howdy everyone. 20,000 steps today thanks to shoveling snow. Ugh. Not so much. Luckily, knock on wood, we haven't had any snow here yet in Indianapolis. I like that. Very fun. Diane says didn't run either. So yeah, you guys. So the whole point of the tour is for us to get together and give each other a big hug, say we're proud of each other, and just hang out. That's the whole plan. So Anna says, I just finished last night's podcast here for a few before I leave for work. Very fun. Debbie says, come do the Milwaukee Marathon with me. That's too far. Let's see. And then Jan said I couldn't figure out how to share it on YouTube. Yeah, I don't think YouTube does allow you the opportunity to share it. Maybe it does. I just don't know. We'll have to figure that out. But again, it's all good. It's all good. Oh, Jan says chat. Got it. Yeah. And so it probably depends on if you're on a phone, if you're on a device, if you're on a computer. Probably makes a little bit of difference on all the thing. Right now there are 23 folks watching on YouTube or in the top chat rooms. That's kind of cool. 23 is my number, right? Very fun. So anyway, so that's the announcement on the on the international tour is, like I said, Houston, January 20th. Shoot me an email on air at fatdag.com, Houston in the subject line, and I will get an email back to you with the details once we confirm them for Houston. On this episode, Debbie, Laura, and Annette, we're going to talk a lot on this episode. We're going to talk a lot about finding our why again. I think that's important at the beginning of the year is to get redialed in, refocused. So Laura and Annette's email address that, and then Debbie opens up the show for us. So are you guys ready to do this? I'm ready to do this. Kim Jones says, I am loving the Everyday Podcast. Me too. I'm not sure my family does, but I do. I'm joking. They're upstairs. I asked them, from 8:30 to 9:30, can you just kind of go upstairs and be quiet? And so one of the major goals is to get this to a point where I can take all this stuff and move it down to the basement, finish the basement off, and then I can podcast 24 hours a day and not have to worry about me yelling in my house. So very fun. State of Washington, Brianna checks in. Good evening to you. So, all right, I think we're ready to this. Michelle says I'm loving the podcast as well too. Michelle, thank you. I saw your name pop into my inbox today as a patron, or yesterday. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Kathy says made it over to YouTube, and Glenda says exciting plan. I got tons of plans. Plans are easy, right? Making a plan, piece of cake. Executing the plan, way different ball of wax, right? No different when it comes to building podcasts or losing weight. There's a plan. It's easy to do to follow. Not easy to follow, but easy to make a plan. Saying what you're going to do, easy. Actually getting it done, different story altogether. So, whew. So, all right. Well, let's get this thing started, shall we? I think I'm ready to dial this thing in and kind of go get this whole thing going. So you have your water ready. That's the deal. Next, we're gonna cheers, toast, raise a toast for a glass of water. So I'll give you a couple minutes or a couple seconds. You should already have your water ready. If you've been on this show at all, you know what's coming up. You know we're gonna have a little bit of water break. So on air at fatdag.com is how you get your name on the show. Shoot me an email. My inbox blows up. I read the ones that make sense. I try and collate them to a show that's going to resonate with a lot of us, and then we roll with it from there. So Let's do this. Let's do this. Lori says, hi guys, I'm torn. Roll Tide, not really a fan, or Go Tigers or FatDag. Which one's more important, your health or some football? It's up to you. If you're gonna pick Go Roll Tide, if you're saying Go Tigers, then stay with FatDag, right? I will forgive you if you leave to watch Alabama. Watch Bama. I will forgive you for that. But if you're gonna leave to go Tigers, disappointing. Totally disappointing. Very fun. Jessica from Los Angeles. So Jessica, you can help me with this, right? We were talking about the Discord chat this afternoon, and Jessica is proof. I sent her the link, and she made it into the live chat today. So Jessica, right? If not in that regard, but if Jessica can do it, everyone can do it, right? Not picking on Jessica, but the concept is she did it, right? Capital O, or she put OMG. Yep. Orange, you glad you watched the Tigers? Nope. All right, so we have another beautiful vintage here. This one here is a 2019, brewed specially for you guys, and I'm going to pop the tap on that. Finally, let's do this. Cheers. Let's get this going. Boy, that's some mighty fine water right there, I tell you. My favorite. Again, that's a fresh brew. That's a fresh batch. It's really, really, really good. Lee says, now I'm not special anymore. Jessica is the Jessica can do it. Yep. Lee, you're still special, though. You got it in the moment, in the nick of time. Lee figured it out. So, very, very fun. Whew. So, Kim Jones says, too much water late in the evening. I'll be up all night. Yep, it kind of happens. So, Don says, dude, that's some serious water drinking. I gotta wet the lip with the whistle for the show, right? I gotta make sure I can talk. So, Diane says, love the graphics. I think yeah. So I'm digging it too. I think it just steps it up a little bit. I think my favorite part is having your names on here. So that when we talk about an email, you can see whose email it is. That's kind of one of my favorite parts. That was a hard time. But that's, as you guys know, that only works for the live audience, right? The podcast audio folks don't get that. So it's only the folks who are catching in on the live show who get to see that. So, or the replay, for sure. The replay. Get that out of the way. Lori says, it's fancy. It's fancy. Test. Mic. Hello. There we go. Coming down. Right here. Testing. Perfect. Looks good. And Karen, I got you. We are officially recording this episode. It is now officially being recorded. Everything I say can and will be used against me in the court of law. Whatever that means. Golly. All right, so episode 245 coming up. Marcia says, what do you say, Marcia? Marcia said you got Patreon stickers and a FatDag sticker. Wow, that's kind of cool. How'd you get that? All right, let's do this. Episode 245. Connie says, woohoo. All right. I think we're good. I always make sure. There we go. Got that ready. I think we're good. I think we're rocking. Here we go. I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and YouTube, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Every single one of you. I believe in you. It's that simple. When I believe in you, then you believe in you, and then we believe in each other, we just become one awesome community. Speaking of community, there's a community out in Houston. The 2019 International Tour officially kicks off. A little bit of a late notice, kind of got some details I had to get ironed out, but the very first stop of 2019 is going to be in Houston on January 20th. If you're interested in that, go ahead and shoot me an email on air at fatdag.com. Put Houston in the subject, otherwise it's going to probably get lost. I will kind of get the last minute details out to you once we finalize them. I can tell you the tickets, the airline tickets have been purchased, the hotel reservation has been made. So Houston is happening January 20th, rain or shine. So I'll give you that kind of heads up. If you're interested, again, shoot me an email on air at fatdag.com. Again, we're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. Guys, gals, thank you so much for being here. It's so much fun. Always just kind of interacting before every live show for about 15 to 20 minutes. We just kind of hang out and chit chat back and forth, and it becomes a lot of fun. So join us in the live show if you'd like. Certainly, you can just continue listening to the podcast. That works too. But we kind of want to build a community. That the community, the whole reason to build the community is that you have people who understand your journey the way you understand the journey. You have someone that you can use as support. That makes this thing way more special. And that's what we're trying to build, is a community, not just an audio program that you listen to by yourself, but something that you can have peer accountability with to really, and have a wingman, right? And we can walk with each other as we get this done. So thanks for all of your notes. Let's open up this show here. Debbie sends in the very first email. She says, hey, here's my contract to myself on this day, December 27th, 2018. Number 1, what do I expect to get out of my journey? I will learn to form healthy habits, make healthier choices, to say no to myself and others. Those that say this won't hurt you, it might send me off on a binge eating or wanting another Dr. Pepper. To have self-compassion, to have self-confidence, to help me get to a healthy weight goal. Question number 2 is, do you believe that you can do this? Yes, I've done it before, so I know the program works. I might stumble along my way, but I'll get up, I'll dust myself off, and I'll go at it again. What's stopping you? Me, myself, and I. I self-sabotage. I let stress get the better of me. Number 4, who is responsible for your success? Me and only me, with the support of others. 5, who are you doing this for? I'm doing this for me and my grandchildren. I want the energy and health benefits that comes with my journey. And number 6, why are you doing this? I am so tired of being fat and feeling uncomfortable around others and not having the energy. I want to shine and look good in clothes and to feel wonderful about myself. My journey started February 25th, 2017. It's been almost 2 years, and I haven't been working the plan faithfully and on point. I did get down to 29.8 pounds lost in October of this year. Well, I gained 8.6 back. So I sat down today, and I made a contract to myself on what it is I need for me. I printed it off, and I will carry this with me. Thank you, Debbie. Debbie, what an amazing accountability tool that is. And you took some of the questions that I use in the 5 questions of why as to how to develop your why. We'll talk about those later in the show. But you took a lot of them, and you developed a contract. What I think the coolest thing about this is that you have now outlined on paper something that you're going to look at daily to remind yourself of what your goals are. A lot of times as we set goals, we know what we want to accomplish. That's why we set a goal. And so we set the goal to declare, I'm going to do it this time. And then somewhere down the path, we get a little bit distracted and we forget that we set that goal in the first place. And then later on, we get reminded and then we reset that goal. And so what I want you to do is I want you to stick with this and never have to ever ever recommit to your goal. You just say, yeah, I'm still doing it. That's what this written contract does. You've got this thing outlined exactly as it needs to get done. I would add one piece to your thing. It comes from the 5 questions again. I would ask you to write down and detail out what is the hardest thing that you've ever done. When you think about all the things that you've had to do in your life at this point, what is the hardest thing you've ever had to do? And when you take a moment and you write that out, and then you realize that you actually made it through that event, whatever it is, no matter how tragic, no matter how sad, no matter how stressful, when you realize that you made it through there, then all these other questions, you get the power to say, oh, I can do this too. That's where the strength comes from. Is you need to prove to yourself that you're strong and capable. And by looking back at things that you've already accomplished, that's where that comes from. So I'm very proud of you. My favorite question in here is, do you believe that you can do this? And you answered an immediate yes, yes. Right? That is the answer. And so if for some reason your immediate answer isn't yes, that's completely fine. We're here as a community for you to help you believe in yourself. But when you answer yes, yes, you've done it before, so you know the program works, then you just got to work through and say, okay, well, if we know it works, what's in my way? What's stopping me? And that is where you've got this contract outlined. You are absolutely 100% responsible for your success. I've said this many times on this show. I would love to be responsible for you. I would love to have the community be responsible to you, for you. That would make it so much easier. The reality is you have to be responsible. I can't be there 24/7 for you. Even with the string of podcasts that we've released lately, I can't be there every single day, every single action to make sure that you're following the goals that you set for yourself. To make sure that you're asking yourself, does this choice align with the goals that I've set? Do these choices align with the contract that I've just outlined for myself? Or do these choices push me a little further away from fulfilling this contract? That's the question you need to start asking every single time you have an event, every single time you have a meal, every single time you have a chance to exercise. Ask yourself, does it align with the contract? Does this fit in, or will this be a breach of contract? You just got to be right most of the time. So keep up the amazing work. You will have the support from the group, the WhysWingman Facebook group. We will always be here for you, so you certainly can get into there. If you haven't found that yet, for those of you listening to the show, WhysWingman.com, WhysWingman.com will launch you directly into a Facebook group of about almost 5,000 folks now who get it. And it's an incredibly supportive community, so I think you'll like it in there. Last but not least, you've down 29.8 pounds. Regardless, you said you gained back 8.6. Who cares? You've proven to yourself you can lose 29.8 pounds. You didn't do that on accident. You did that by being deliberately focused. You did that by truly dialing in. So you now know, and you've proven this is possible. So when you answer the I'm tired of being fat and feeling uncomfortable around others and not having the energy, I want to shine and look great in clothes and feel wonderful about myself, what I read was you want to be at goal. You want that goal feeling of, I did this, I am the best version of me, you've proven you can do it, you know you can do it, you know the program works, print this off like you said, carry it with you, balance every decision up against that. Determine how bad you want it, how bad you're willing to commit to it, and what it's going to take to get it done. Debbie, thank you so much for writing in and sharing your contract with us. It's very, very inspiring. This next email comes in from Laura. She says, Dear FatDag, hi, my name is Laura. I'm a 41-year-old mom of 2 elementary school kids. I'm a wife, a registered dietitian, and a physician's assistant. I have been faithfully following you since the beginning of the podcast. I've been meaning to write in for a while to thank you for everything you do for this community, and I wanted to say how sorry I am for your recent loss. I've been a lifetime WW member since April of 2016, but really been following WW on and off since 2002. I have the point sliders, the Weight Watchers books, and a pearl point bracelet to prove it. I am at my WW goal weight, a healthy BMI currently, but about 10 pounds above the weight where I was last year and feel my best. I would like to get back there. My weight loss story is a long one. It's been going on for probably 30 years. It started as an overweight middle schooler, and I first remember counting calories in 7th grade. I never really lost any weight, even through middle and high school and college, even though I did my best to educate myself in nutrition. It was during the fat-free craze, and I continued to gain weight because I continued to eat more calories than what I needed. I got so good at knowing the nutritional value of food that I decided to major in nutrition in college, and I became a registered dietitian. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't enough to just know the science behind nutrition. I had to do the mental work too. Thankfully, in my early 20s, I began to figure it out. I lost about 25 pounds on my own through exercise and portion control. After losing my first 25 pounds on my own, I found WW and I lost another 15. I've been able to keep this off for about 40 pounds now for 16 years through grad school to become a physician's assistant, marriage, 2 pregnancies, and I'm proud of that weight loss and the maintenance. I never allowed myself to switch to lifetime status until 2016 because I always had a bigger goal of 10 or more pounds in mind. I made it down another 10 pounds this last year with help from your podcast for a total of 50 pounds from my highest weight. I felt so strong and so comfortable in my own skin with these last 10 pounds off my frame. I finally felt like I was where I wanted to be weight-wise for the first time since middle school. I truly was living my healthiest lifestyle, and it felt like it would be easy to maintain. Your podcast really did help me focus on what was important and get out of my complacency zone. It gave me the confidence to go for my final goal. Over the last few months, though, I gained back 7 pounds. I slowly started letting old habits like daily sweets and snacking on chips creep back. I got out of my exercise routine and tracking. It's not a lot of weight, admittedly. I would like to get back to my routines, though. I feel better when I'm making my exercise attendance goals and keeping added sugar out of my diet. As of this past week, I am back at it, and it feels good. I have set attendance goals for exercise and tracking and followed through. The scale rewarded me with a 2.8 pound loss this week. Wahoo! I don't know what it is, but you would think that I would not doubt the WW that it works after all this time. But every time I get off track, I worry that I won't be able to do it this time around or that it's too hard. 1 week back with the plan and my whys written out again, and I feel like I can do it again. I have a lot of whys, and here are a few. To be a great example to my kids. I know as a parent, kids listen more to what you do than to what you say. I want my kids to see me living out a healthy lifestyle. I want them to see me setting exercise goals and achieving them. I want them to see me occasionally saying no to a piece of cake because I really don't want that. I want it. I want them to see me enjoying all kinds of food, including the cake too, because food is meant to be enjoyed. I also want to have them see me grab a piece of fruit, lean protein, or veggies daily instead of chips or a snack. I especially don't want my daughter to have to live through the pain of being an overweight teenager like I did. It didn't stop me from participating in life when I was a teenager, but it sure wasn't always easy being 50 pounds overweight. Number 2 is I want to feel at ease in my body. I would like to be back to where everything in my closet really fits. I really do have a love for fashion and clothes. I would also like to be back to being able to say yes to running with my running buddy without worrying that I won't be able to keep up. I would like to wake up in the morning with more energy because I'm not sluggish from what I ate the night before. Number 3 is my long-term health. Working at a hospital as a physician's assistant, I see the effects of poor diet and lack of activity daily in my patients. I love seeing before and after pictures on Weight Watchers, but for me, the thing that makes my day is to see a Connect post where someone is able to come off either their blood pressure medicine or their diabetes medication. I'm the biggest cheerleader on Connect for these posts. 10 pounds may not seem like very much, but it can make a difference between needing medication for blood pressure or diabetes. For me, my goal is to stay at a normal BMI for as long as I can. These are a few of my whys, and I will look at them daily to keep me going when that unplanned dessert is calling my name. I will email back in a couple of months or so for an update when I'm back at my best weight. Sorry for the long email, and thanks again for everything that you do, Laura. Laura, way to take the time to make you the priority and to outline what it's going to take to get you there. You have an amazing career, dietitian, physician's assistant, a mom, a wife, not an easy task list of things that you're accomplishing. Congratulations on getting all of them done, and in the process, continuing to make you and your health the priority. Continue, at your current weight, current goal weight, healthy BMI, very, very, very happy. I can tell through your words as you just let it come out. A 50-pound weight loss is incredible. Congratulations on that. And I want to talk about your email made me think about the last 5 to 10 pounds, right? And where we are in that. And I've said this more than once. I love the last 10 pounds is when you really push through. When you get to the point where you step on that scale and you are confident that you no longer want to lose any weight. And you're as lean as you've ever been. You're as trim as you've ever been. You look the best you've ever have. That truly is a feeling unlike any other. And I equate that to an Olympic athlete in their prime. You trained, you worked, you fought hard, and you got exactly to the peak of what you're capable of. Now, whether or not you live there is a different strategy, and there's a range that you can live in just above that is different for everybody. But there's a piece where you're at your peak, and then when the piece when you're really close, but the same clothes still fit. So the last 10 pounds, it's incredible when you get there, but I also don't want you to work so hard that you miss out on other things. But you know what it's going to take, you know the feeling that you're after, and you know what it's going to take to get there. With all the other things that you have accomplished in your life, there's no doubt in my mind that this can be added to that as well. The coolest thing you said is that being a registered dietitian, knowing exactly what needed to be done on how to do it was important, but really the mental work was more important. That is the how versus why debate that we continue to have, is we all know how to do this. That's not really easily up for debate. How to do it is doable. It's why we want to, why we dig in, why we want to get to our final goal, so that our children can live a happy, healthy life, so our friends can benefit from all of our new energy. That is the piece that no matter how much science you throw at it, you still need a mental reward. You still need to mentally be dialed in to get it done. The last piece I want to throw at you is that you said the scale rewarded you with a 2.8 pound loss this week, and I disagree. The scale didn't do anything but remind you of the work and effort that you put in. It's just data. Good or bad, it's just data. You're the one that rewarded yourself. The scale is the one that certainly let it out. Laura, thanks for your email. I agree with a lot of your points. Food is meant to be enjoyed. There's a way to do it in moderation. You understand that as a dietitian, everything fits into this plan. Make a plan, work the plan, and get it done. Last but not least, I want to say, you're absolutely right. My favorite thing too is when people completely change their life. When people quit borrowing from their life expectancy to take their life back. If you want to borrow from your life expectancy to have some extra food, you're just shorting yourself. But when you dig in and you take those last 5 to 10 pounds off to clean yourself off of some medication, or even the first 10 pounds off to clean yourself off of some medication and to completely change your life for the better, that's probably the most inspiring part of the show is listening to countless people who've lowered their A1C count, who've taken themselves off diabetes medication, who've removed themselves from blood pressure medicine, who've quit being bedridden, people who've completely changed everything about their life. So that is my favorite part as well. So Laura, again, thank you so much for all that you've done. Continue the great work. Keep at it, and I can't wait to see the next email that you write in. Coming in from Toledo, Ohio, Annette writes in, says, I've lost my why. 1.5 years ago, I lost 50 pounds with Weight Watchers, and when I did, I developed some health issues like breathing problems. I'm now feeling better and manage the asthma, but I can't seem to find my why. I'm 65, live alone, and have come to realize that even if I reach my goal weight of 160, I'm now at 267, I have so much extra skin that it will never be right, and I'm feeling discouraged. Annette, I hear this often, and I want to give you something to to think about. You're 65 years old. Your health is the most important thing. The beautiful thing about clothing these days is we can hide a lot of our imperfections. So I would much rather have loose skin than be unhealthy. It's a battle cry for the battle that I've won. It's my battle scar. It's proof to me that I did this. I look at it every single day and say, I did this, and I'm proud of that. And you'll be able to look at it for 60 or 10, 15, 20, 30 more years down the road because you've changed your health. And so I don't want that to be your focus. And where you're at now is you're at 267 looking at 160. I don't want you focused there. I want you at 267 to be focused on 260. I want you at 267 to be focused on 250. I want you to be focused on the lifestyle change that's needed. Let the scale do its own work. When you start this journey on day one thinking that you need to lose 100 pounds or more, it's daunting. I get that. It's completely possible. I promise you that. But it's not possible to lose 100 pounds at once. You've got to do it a tenth at a time, a pound at a time, and you got to do it methodically and slowly. You do that by completely changing your life. I promise you, when you get down 100 pounds, you will not care about the extra skin. The way that you walk, the confidence that you have, the way you enter a room will be so drastically different that nothing else will matter. I promise you that. And the good news is, if you get all the way down and you don't like it, then you can gain it all back if you want, right? But that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to love it so much when you get there that you're going to want to stay there forever. There is an episode where we talk about the why, the 5 questions of why. I ran through them earlier, but really you ask yourself 5 questions. Write it down in paper. Grab a pen, grab some paper, and answer these 5 questions. What do you expect to get out of this journey? Write it down. Truly, what are your expectations? Do you believe you can do it? And I tell you, if the answer isn't an immediate yes, that's okay. Persevere through. Ask yourself what is stopping you. Detail that. Why? What is stopping you? And I said just a second ago, what's the hardest thing you've ever done? And when you can find the hardest thing you've ever done and prove to yourself that you did that, it gives you the strength to carry on. And then last but not least question is who is responsible for your success? Ask yourself that. And if you come up with an answer other than you, ask it again. And if you still come up with an answer other than you, ask it again. Because you are ultimately responsible for 100% of your success. The good news is you can do it. The good news is you have every bit of opportunity, you have every bit of strength, you have every bit of courage. Just sending in the email proves to me that you're willing, ready, and able to do it. We'll walk with you, and when we get done, we absolutely will celebrate. And no one will care how much extra skin you have because you'll look great, you'll feel great, and the clothes will just look awesome on you. And we'll use those to cover our battle cries and our battle scars and prove that we had a victory. So that's the time to celebrate. Folks, what is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com. Click on the WhysAdvice Podcast link to send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I will work them in as part of the show. I want you to email in the celebrations because I really want you to be proud of what you're doing. If you have questions as well, email those in. We'll talk about them. If you're stuck, if you are right in the middle of your journey, you don't know where to go, send it in. Let's talk about it. Email in at onair@fatdag.com and let's get it on the air so that we can get you to your goal. Well, folks, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Ooh, that was scary. In the middle of the episode, I got a low battery warning. Ugh. So I'm sitting here going, yeah, I pressed record, but if I don't get, if this doesn't record because the battery's dead, no. Kathy says, and I'm 65 and consider the loose skin better than being, I know, loose skin is way better than tight skin in that regard. So, whew, yep. So Pamela says, great job. Freedom in a budget. Hi from South Florida. Good evening to you. Brenda says, now I see the comments. Beth says, I'm going to start walking on my lunch break. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Medical systems need to change. Excess skin and loose skin has medical problems and implications. I lost 145 on plan and at least a consultation in a year or two. So yeah, all kinds of things need to change in our medical system, but it starts by us getting there. Yeah, Pamela, I agree. Loose skin is a badge of honor. Yep. And it's so hard, because we want to look our best, right? And we just don't believe that's going to be it. I understand the concern, but man, it's just, it's an allowing yourself to be distracted with something that you don't need to be distracted with. That's what that is. Joni says, I went back through email and found the Discord stuff. Yep, cool. Very nice. Brenda says, you see comments when you view through the app. Going through a browser, comments don't show. I'll have to look into that. I don't know. On YouTube. Dina says, sometimes my loose skin overwhelms me, but I would way rather have loose skin than before. I know. Then you'd be right. That's the piece. I mean, Dina, the health benefits you gained are way better than the little bit of skin that, it's all good. All good. Corinne says it's always something, right? Delilah says loose skin is why the Lord invented Spanx. Yep. We need Spanx for men. I'm sure it exists, right? I'm sure it does. Actually, I know it does. I saw a guy wearing it. I won't tell you who it was, but I saw a guy. Bev says, no warnings. My workshop daytime was canceled after tonight. I'm not happy. No other meetings within 60 miles of me. Becky, we have this one every single night, except for the nights that we don't. But every Monday we chat in Discord from 3 to 4 in the afternoon. We do this, and then there's, of course, the WhysWingman Facebook group. So there are other opportunities for you, Becky. We will walk with you for sure. Jessica says men wear compression clothes. Yeah, I know. I don't judge anymore, and I know it. I actually know they do. Jan says, what episode is the 5 questions? I think it's 80. I don't know. 84? 184? 184. I think it's 184. If you go into the app and you search for that, it should show up. Let's see if I can do this. You can go to WhysAdvice.com, and then you can do, let's do this, let's see what happens. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm just testing. 218, here we go. That was easy. You guys see that? Just go up here and type questions or type Y, and there is episode 218, develop 5 questions. Here they are. What are you expecting to get out of this journey? Do you believe you can do this? What is in your way? What is the hardest thing you've ever done in your life? Who is ultimately responsible for your success? So there we go. So that makes that a lot easier for sure. So answers that question, right? Deb says Marsha is posting on Facebook. What is Marsha? Why isn't Marsha in here? Marsha, right? Too funny. Jan, you're welcome. Very fun. Yep. Oh gosh, you posted them on the Facebook. The 5 questions, you posted them on the Facebook page. I just showed them on the live feed. It was even easier. So, whew, boy. But yeah, I have exaggerated on them since. Expanded maybe. Yeah, I get it. So cool. This is episode 254. 245. I don't even know. I'm so confused. Yes, Jessica, the answer is yes. Collect all 8. Jessica's asking if I increase my contributions, do I get a new sticker? Yes. So what happens is I get an alert when you jump between levels. Even if you decrease, to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure the decrease one works too. I get an alert when you go to a new level, and then once a quarter or so, when I get caught up, I mail them out. So, yeah. For sure, you can do that. Thank you. So, anyway, so these Patreon community continues to support the show. I want to thank them. That is always important for me to do from this point forward, is to let you guys know everything we're trying to do here, everything I'm trying to build. comes directly from your contributions. So thank you for that. We'll hang out for another 5 or 10 minutes as this scrolls and just kind of do whatever it is you want to talk about. Debbie says, my skin doesn't bother me, but if I removed it, I would be a size smaller. Yeah, I understand that side of it completely. I really do. And, and that's why, and even, Debbie, this is another thing is in some cases we have a few pounds of loose skin. So if you could get rid of your loose skin, you would instantly weigh less. So that's why in some cases trying to fight for those last 2 or 3 pounds, it may be that you're not capable because the skin's there. So Jan, you threw me off. The header on Facebook misspelled episode. Oh man, I can fix that. I typed it quickly, so I'll fix that for the next show. But thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jessica says don't encourage. I'm transparent, Jessica. Right? I don't try and hide anything. Truly, my dream is that if the Patreon. The reason when I first set this up, I had no anticipation that I was going to have it do anything for me. But $1 a month is in most cases doable. And so if everyone just did that, that's perfect. So if you want to move up, great. But what I would hope that when someone decides they no longer want to contribute, then if they just drop down to $1, that works for me. It's $12 a year. But at least that gives me some kind of knowing that it gives me that connection back to you to know that we're connected. So, but up or down works. Yep. Roy says Clemson is winning now. Woohoo. Yeah, Maria says, I'm fine and proud of my body at age 62. My skin is fine. Yeah, and Dina says, the 8 pounds I want to lose would easily be gone if I had my loose skin removed. Exactly. So that's why we don't fight over it, really. Don't fight in that sense. But continue to live healthy, continue to be happy, continue to do everything you need to do to get it done. But the goal now is to live happy and healthy, live a happy lifestyle. Your body will respond however it needs to respond to get whatever needs to get done. Does that make sense? Yep. Connie says, yep, thank you for a great show. Lee says, down 124 as of yesterday. Jan says, my cousin lost in excess of 100 pounds and her insurance covered the skin removal. Very nice. Very cool. I'm sure it's obviously dependent upon on the policy. Marcia says, you could get $4,000 a month if everyone gave $1. If that was true, right? I would love that. Then that would put me in the basement. That would put me to doing a couple shows a day. That would change everything. I promise you. That would be dramatically changing. I would turn this into my full-time job, and this would be the coolest thing forever. We'd have 2 shows a day. We'd have chats every day. That's really what we're capable of doing. Or I'm going to go to work in 8 months. One or the other. We have really 2 options. So Jessica says, always love yourself. Yeah, I learned that the hard way. That is the truth for sure. Carissa says, great to hear you live again. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for sure. You guys know the deal. So these little icons right here, right? So this is Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Connect, and LinkedIn. Search me for there. Let's connect there if that's what you want to do. I think that would be fantastic. And we'll continue to get done. So, all right, let's go ahead. I think Delilah, for sure, 100%, absolutely, yes. You would get to decorate the basement. You could help with that for sure. We would live feed the entire transformation. That's what we would do. So, cool. All right, are we ready to sign this thing off? I think I am. I think it's time to say goodnight. Lynn says I'm doing late. Have we talked about Houston yet? Oh, well then it's not time yet. Yes, Lynn. Great reminder. Houston, we did talk about it, but let's talk about it again. Houston, January 20th, coming to Houston for a speaking engagement, and plane tickets have been purchased. So January 20th, I will get you details, but that morning we will do something and probably have some meetup afterwards. So let's see. Lori says, I haven't weighed in several months. Maybe I'll get on the scale soon. My size 10 jeans still fit. Perfect. Get back to the meeting. Get back to your scale. Hold yourself accountable. You can do this, right? Cool. All right. On that note, thank you guys for being here. Wishing you good focus. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. I have my WW meeting is tomorrow, So we'll see what tomorrow looks like. Tomorrow will be the first challenge that we've had up to this point. So hopefully we'll be here. Look for the tweet on Twitter. That'll let you know when the show is going to be. Tomorrow's night show will probably be late. 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30, probably at the earliest is kind of the deal. So Mom checks in, 10,000 steps tonight. Awesome. Good work. Good work. Good work. All right, folks. Thanks again. Thank you. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.